So tell me about astrology. How did it come into your life? Around what time? What sparked your curiosity? Is it because you took a class and you fell in love with it, or something else happened? Like how does astrology come into play and into your life?
Yeah, actually, so astrology was actually the first modality that I actually learned about. I grew up in a very spiritual home. I grew up in Miami as well, and I grew up in a Cuban home, and we practice a close practice called Santeria, from the Lucumi tradition. And so I already had a very close connection to the African spirituality aspect of it, but there was something outside of that that kept calling me, and I'm like, the first time I heard like, oh, you're a Libra because you're born on this day, I'm like, And so I started reading the horoscopes and I'm like, oh, kind of accurate, not always, but kind of. And so when I had my spiritual awakening, I was like, you know what? Let me go a little bit deeper into this astrology and see. And the first time I opened up my chart, it was like, whoa, it was like the Matrix. It was like so much going on. I'm like, I have no idea what any of this says. And so I started to break it down and I started to study it more. And the more that I studied, the more it just became more and more accurate. I'm like, what? During this time of my life, this happened? Yes. During this, yes. Like, yes, that happened to me. Yes, that's me. Yes, I have a tendency to do that. It was like things just started to make sense. And I'm like, okay, so this is not by coincidence. This is definitely on purpose. So I started to really study it and really get into the process of using astrology to make informed decisions on major life transits and major life events. Um, because what happened is that astrology is just really more of a it's more like a timetable for a lot of things and the zodiac signs and certain planets are just when they aspect each other, what happens is that they just provide a set of characteristics that you will either experience or that you will either embody.